Lucas MATTHYSSE, awesome fighter, awesome fighter. The sport of boxing needs this guy. Versus Devon Alexander.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the family arena in St. Charles, Missouri, after 10 action-packed rounds, we go to
Great fight. Great fight.
Judge
Great fight.
Malone scores it 96-93, Alexander. Brett Miller scores it out 96-93, MATTHYSSE. And Denny Nelson scores the bout 95-94 for your winner by split decision from St. Louis, Missouri,
Devon Alexander. Exactly. Devon Alexander versus Lucas MATTHYSSE. Listen, I get on YouTube, check out, see what's going on as far as sports and whatnot. Wasn't able to catch the Devon Alexander fight last night. Went out, brother, friends, family, had a great time. Went down Santa Monica Pier and whatnot, had a great time. I wasn't home. But I get up this morning and I see all this controversy about how Lucas MATTHYSSE, good boxer, good fighter, good boxer. I get up this morning and hear about how he was robbed. He was robbed. They took that fight from Lucas MATTHYSSE. They took that fight from Lucas MATTHYSSE. He was robbed. So let's sit down. Thank you for all the boxing fans out there that put up these fights on YouTube and stuff like that. I love you, man. Mwah. Thank you for doing that. You're awesome. Fans of the sport can always go to YouTube, type in some names, and watch fights and enjoy. That's an awesome thing. Awesome. So I come on YouTube, I look up the fight, I type in Devon Alexander versus Lucas MATTHYSSE. Lucas MATTHYSSE, sorry. Watch the fight. So a lot of videos talk about how MATTHYSSE was robbed. I watched the fight. He was not robbed. First of all, I want to say, this was a damn good fight. Pure boxers, two pure boxers, good work rate, punches thrown, good work rate in this fight, letting their hands go, good head movement on the part, on Devon Alexander's part, good head movement. I'm gonna get into that in a few minutes. Just good action, good work rate. Lucas MATTHYSSE. Awesome boxer. The sport of boxing needs him. He gives me Edward Valero. Watching him, he gives me Edward Valero and Costa Azul at the same time because of the hair. I like this guy. I like this guy. Lucas MATTHYSSE, he's going to become more popular now because he is a damn good boxer. Good power, good boxer. I love guys like this, MATTHYSSE and Alexander. I love guys like this. They're just good, accurate, smart, clever boxers. I love watching guys like this in the sport of boxing. This guy, Lucas MATTHYSSE, should definitely be headlining on HBO. Very similar to Devon Alexander, as you saw in that fight. Hand speed, work rate, very similar to Devon Alexander. Devon Alexander's a star. I don't see why this guy can't be. This guy can also sell some pay-per-view tickets. You put him with the right opponents. This guy, Lucas MATTHYSSE, man, he's definitely a star in the sport of boxing. He was so good, he impressed me so much that even after a loss, I was still impressed with him. Okay? So that's what I think about him as far as his star status in the sport of boxing. And this fight just really reminds you of why you love the sport of boxing. This was a good action, good work rate, good action fight. I didn't do a prediction video. I forgot that this fight was coming up. Kind of busy and whatnot, you know. I want to now talk about the fight. As I watched the fight, both men had an equal work rate. Both men threw punches at the same rate. They both let their hands go. They both had an equal work rate. What gave Devon Alexander the win in this fight? It was his head movement defensively. So many of MATTHYSSE's punches missed Devon Alexander because Devon was what? Moving that head. Ducking. Moving that head. Constantly, all throughout the whole fight. I noticed a lot of Matthysse's punches. Some would hit, some landed because he is accurate. Matthyssse, good boxer. But a lot of his punches missed. And I think people got caught up in the amount of punches thrown in the work rate and totally ignored the fact that Devon was moving his head all of the fight. He was moving that head the whole fight, man. The whole fight he was moving that head. He was moving that head the whole fight. Devon Alexander, ducking, rolling, right? Ducking, watching him, moving his head. Devon was doing that the whole fight. Some of Matthysse's punches landed, a lot of them missed. Okay? But it was still a good work rate. I think that's what fooled people into thinking Matthyssse won this. Yes, he had a knockdown. Devon got back up and got right back to putting in work. Throwing them combos, moving that head, working that jab, moving that head, constantly moving around the ring. Do you know what kind of shape you have to be in? Mad props to Devon Alexander and Matthyssse. You're a good fighter. I like you a lot. But mad props to Devon Alexander because both these guys are in tremendous shape. When you look at the punch rate, the work rate, the amount of punches they put out, you got to be in good shape to do that shit. And Devon Alexander, dude, do you know what kind of good shape you have to be in to throw that many punches offensively and still be able to duck and move your head at the same time? I mean, the sport of boxing, whew, in all professional athletes, all professional sports, all those sports are extremely strenuous on the body. And in order for you to be the best at these sports, you have to be in tremendous shape, and that's what Devon Alexander was in. Both of these guys are in tremendous shape, but for Devon Alexander to be able to throw offensively and throw those punches and have that kind of offensive work rate with the hands and still be able to move, duck, and move around the ring, use those legs and avoid punches, he was in really good shape. Also, what you notice in this fight that gave another reason to show that Devon Alexander won this fight, how often did you see Matthysse's head move? He threw a lot of punches. A lot of his punches missed Devon Alexander because Devon Alexander had good head movement. As I said, how many times did Matthysse's head move to avoid a punch? How much head movement did you see from Matthyssse? Yeah, little to none. Exactly. Which is another reason why Devon Alexander won this fight. When Devon was throwing, they both had high work rates. They both threw a lot of punches. One man is moving his head while they're throwing punches. The other man's not really moving his head. The guy that's not moving his head is getting connected on. He's getting hit with those punches. The guy that's moving his head, he's going to get hit with some punches, but a lot of the punches going to miss. Common sense, people. So, that also points out that Devon Alexander won this fight because when you look at it, he had aggressive head movement throughout the whole fight. Devon Alexander. Matthyssse, he didn't move his head very much. A lot of Devon Alexander's punches connected and landed. A lot of them. Even when he was throwing out the little flip jab, he was just throwing the jab from his waist. Little lazy jab. You're dead tired, and you quit, but you're dead tired. And you want to hit your opponent. That's that lazy jab fighter stuff when they tired with that jab that beat down there by that waist, and they just flick it up on him. Pop, pop. Devon Alexander was throwing that and hitting Matthyssse with that. Matthyssse had little to no head movement. I didn't see much head movement to avoid punches from Matthyssse. And then think of the work rate and how many punches these guys both were throwing. You don't think head movement is important when you throwing that many punches? When you want to fight with that kind of work rate, you got to move your head if you're boxing a guy that throws a lot of punches. Matthyssse didn't. Which is another point to prove that Alexander won that fight. His head movement, him avoiding them punches, moving that head. So many of Matthysse's punches didn't connect. A lot did, but more missed. I'm going to give him his props. Matthyssse is nice. He's nice, but the defensive head movement of Devon Alexander is what won him this fight, people. They both had equal work rate. One guy moved his head more than the other, therefore that guy got hit less than the other guy. It's simple. A lot of talks. Oh God, Matthyssse was robbed, he was robbed. No. And how dare y'all act like Devon didn't do nothing? They both had an equal work rate. Devon moved his head more. He avoided them punches much more than Matthyssse did. Moving that head, rolling with the punches. And mainly what was Devon doing? He was just moving that head side to side. He was moving that head side to side, man. Which gave this accurate, precise, accurate boxer a harder time of connecting and hitting Devon. Meanwhile, MATTHYSSE going against Devon, who's also an accurate boxer, MATTHYSSE was not moving his head as much as Devon Alexander. He wasn't. He was very straight up and down. Not much head movement from MATTHYSSE. That's what lost him the fight. Devon Alexander versus MATTHYSSE. MATTHYSSE, you are a guy that the sport of boxing needs. Lucas Matthys. I hope I'm saying his last name correctly. MATTHYSSE or Matthys. Good boxers. The sport of boxing needs you. Devon Alexander put on an excellent performance. Both these guys performed very well in this fight. Love the high work rate, the punches thrown. Exciting fight for boxing. Devon Alexander versus Lucas Matthys. Devon Alexander won this fight. His work rate offensively, throwing punches, letting his hands go, and his defensive head movement is what won him the fight. Meanwhile, Matthys did not move his head very much. Therefore, most of Devon's punches landed and connected. It's simple. It's simple. This is easy to understand. Matthys, they robbed him. Matthys, he's from Argentina, by the way. Argentina, huh? South America. America and South America. Talented people, superstars of the world. 12 tribes, God's chosen. That's a little over your head. Back to the sports. Devon Alexander versus MATTHYSSE. MATTHYSSE, he was robbed. MATTHYSSE, you're a great fighter. But to all the boxing fans out there, no. Devon won this fight fair and square. Excellent fight.